I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on sentence types. And before we start with our lesson on sentence types, we're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language art, grade 5. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of sentence types. All right. So chapter is sentence types. So chapter is sentence types. The subject is English language arts, grade 5. And the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of sentence types is the sentence declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. So we're basically going to find out if the sentence is declarative, if it's an imperative sentence, an interrogative sentence, or an exclamatory sentence. And we're doing set 1 as well as set 2. So we're doing 2 sets of the same, which is the sentence declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. So we're going to find out if it's one of those sentences. And also what a declarative sentence is, an interrogative sentence, imperative, or an exclamatory sentence is. That is what we're going to be finding out today under our chapter of sentence types. And we are doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca. All right. So basically, there are 4 kinds of sentences, right? So there's 4 kinds of sentences. We have a declarative sentence, we have an interrogative sentence, an imperative sentence, as well as an exclamatory sentence. And if we go to the first one, right, the declarative sentence, a declarative sentence, it tells you about something. So declarative sentence, it's basically a statement, right? So it's a statement and it tells you about something. So it's basically just telling you about anything, right? So if it basically tells you about something, it does not require you to respond or the next person to respond. So we said that there are four kinds of sentences, and one of it being the declarative sentence, right? And declarative sentence is a statement and it tells us about something. And like I said, it's basically just telling you something random. And if it's telling you about something, then it doesn't require of you or the next person to give you a response. And with a declarative sentence, right? A declarative sentence, it always ends with a period. So it ends with a period. So it ends with a period. And if we look at an example, right, of a declarative sentence, the declarative sentence, it says, I have an older brother and a younger sibling. So remember, we said that it is a statement and it basically just tells somebody something. So it's just telling you something, right? So if somebody says that I have an older brother and a sibling, then it depends on the next person if you want to respond, but there's no need to respond. So if you don't want to respond, you don't have to respond because it is just a statement that's being made and it doesn't require a response. It's like me just telling you about something, like just getting it off my chest that I have an older brother and I have a younger sister. And then we have an interrogative sentence, right? And an interrogative sentence is a question. If you listen to the word interrogative, it's like if somebody's interrogating you, think of that. So it's like, for example, if you watch those movies where the cops are taking someone into questioning and now they're interrogating the person, meaning they're asking the person a lot of questions, right? So an interrogative sentence is a question. It's like they're asking a lot of questions or they're asking a question. And with an interrogative sentence, it asks something. And with an interrogative sentence, right, it always ends with a question mark. So an interrogative sentence, it always ends with a question mark. So we see that interrogative sentence, it always ends with a question mark. And it ends with a question mark because we are asking a question. And when you're asking a question, and then we expect a response from the next person that we're asking a question to. And if we look at an example question, it's like, how tall are you? So how tall are you? So now the person will respond and say how tall they are. Or if you ask how old are you, the next person will respond and, for example, tell you how old they are. But with an interrogative sentence, right, seeing that it's a question and it asks for something or asks someone for something or about something, which means that they require a response. And then we have an imperative sentence, right? An imperative sentence. And an imperative sentence, right? It is a command. And it makes a request, or it even tells someone to do something. So it's a command. So it makes a request, or it even tells someone to do something. And with an imperative sentence, right? The imperative sentence, it usually ends with a period. So it usually ends with a period. Or if the command shows strong feeling, right? And then it will end with an exclamation point. So it usually ends with a period. But if the demand is quite strong, right? Or shows strong feeling, and then we basically have to end it with an exclamation point. And if we look at an example, right, it says, read the first chapter by next week. It's like they're telling you to do something. So they're telling you to read the chapter for next week. And then the next one says, look out for the car. And then we have an exclamatory sentence. And an exclamatory sentence, it is like a statement, but it shows surprise or it shows strong feeling. So exclamatory sentence, it's like a statement, right? So we said an exclamatory sentence, it's like a statement, and it shows a surprise or strong feelings. And an exclamatory sentence, it always ends with an exclamation point. And if we look at an example, right, of an exclamatory sentence, it says, some whales are over 90 feet long. So some whales are over 90 feet long, right? Another exclamatory sentence is, I can't wait until tomorrow. So I can't wait until tomorrow. So that is basically our four kinds of sentences, where we have a declarative sentence, which is a statement, we have an interrogative sentence, which asks a question, an imperative sentence, which is a command, and it is also an exclamatory sentence. And we said we are doing our tutorial lesson on A plus students.ca. So these are our four kinds of sentence, which is a declarative sentence, an interrogative sentence, an imperative sentence, as well as an exclamatory sentence. All right, so now we're doing our chapter of sentence types. And now we're going into the first lesson, which is a sentence declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory? And we see the declarative sentence is a statement and it tells you about something and it ends with a period, always. And then we have an interrogative sentence, right? Which is like question sentence. An interrogative sentence is a question. And then we have an interrogative sentence, right? All right. So let's go to our test. So we say we're going to the test. So what kind of sentence is this? We need to say if it is a declarative, interrogative, imperative, or an exclamatory sentence. Not all monkeys live in the jungle. So not all monkeys live in the jungle. We can say that's a declarative sentence. And it also ends with a period. So well done. Great job. First one is correct. We need to say what kind of sentence is this. Please take the dirty towels outside. Is it a declarative sentence, an interrogative, imperative, or an exclamatory sentence? And if we are going to select the correct one, then we're going to say it's an imperative sentence. So please take the dirty towels outside. It's being requested. So we need to say which kind of sentence is this. If it's a declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. Please take the dirty towels outside, and we said it's an imperative. An imperative is correct. Please cut up the watermelon. We need to say if it's an imperative sentence or an interrogative sentence. Please cut up the watermelon. Is it an imperative or interrogative sentence? All right, so if we choose the correct one, we will say it is an interrogative sentence, because an imperative sentence, sorry, because an interrogative sentence, it ends with a question mark. So imperative it is. So well done. I write for the school newspaper. I write for the school newspaper. Is this an exclamatory sentence or a declarative sentence? All right, so if we must say what kind of sentence this is, I write for the school newspaper, then this is a declarative sentence. It is basically just a statement that the person is making. Unless somebody responds and asks, oh, for which newspaper? Why? Do you enjoy it? And then it will be conversational, but it's basically just a statement that is being made. So well done. Declarative is correct. All right, then the last one. For his report, Jaden needs information about zebras. So for his report, Jaden needs information about zebras. So is this an interrogative sentence or a declarative sentence? And if we choose the correct type of sentence, then we will say it's a declarative sentence. It's basically also a statement that is being made. And that is correct. So well done. Well done, everybody. So we're going to the second set, right? Where we also say is a sentence declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory, right? All right. So we need to say what kind of sentence is this, right? It says, does Josie prefer pizza or pasta? So does Josie prefer pizza or pasta? We need to say which type of sentence or what type of sentence it is. Interrogative, imperative, declarative, or exclamatory sentence. So does Josie prefer pizza or pasta? All right. So does Josie prefer pizza or pasta? This is the interrogative sentence, right? Because with an interrogative sentence, right, it ends with a question mark because it asks a question. So that is an interrogative sentence because firstly it ends in a question mark and it also asks a question, right? Because it asks a question. The question is, does Josie prefer pizza or pasta? And there's a question, which means that it's an interrogative sentence. And no one lives at the base of the volcano. So no one lives at the base of the volcano. So no one lives at the base of the volcano. So what type of sentence is that? Is it a declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative, or an exclamatory sentence? So we need to say which type of sentence it is. And if we look at this one that says, no one no one lives at the base of the volcano, this is a declarative sentence. So that's a declarative sentence. All right, so now we're going to our test, right? We again going to be tested on the four types of sentences. And we said the four types of sentences is a declarative sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence, and an interrogative sentence. That is the four types of sentences. A declarative is a statement and it ends in a period. A interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. It's a question that is being asked. Imperative, right? Imperative is basically like a command and it ends with a period. But if the command is quite, strong and strict, and then it needs to end with a exclamation mark, and then we have an exclamatory sentence, which is basically like a statement. So we said it is an declarative sentence. All right, so we're going to our test, right? So we're going to say, what kind of sentence is this? Stop twisting the rope like that. So stop twisting the rope like that. So stop twisting the rope like that. Is that an interrogative sentence or an imperative sentence? All right, so stop twisting the rope like that. So this is an imperative sentence. So well done. Imperative is correct. The screeching hurts my ears. So the screeching hurts my ears. Is that a declarative sentence or an exclamatory sentence? So the screeching hurts my ears is a declarative or exclamatory. And most of you are saying exclamatory, which is correct. Then we're going to the next one that says Pedro is the best cook I know. So Pedro is the best cook I know. Is this an interrogative sentence or is it an exclamatory sentence? So Pedro is the best cook I know, right? So if Pedro is the best cook and it ends with an exclamation mark, then there should be an exclamatory sentence. And well done, exclamatory is correct. That's the loudest siren I've ever heard. Is that an exclamatory sentence or an interrogative sentence? So that's the loudest siren I've heard. Is that the exclamatory sentence or an interrogative sentence? And once again, it is an exclamatory sentence. And it ends with a exclamation mark. So well done. Exclamatory is correct. So well done, everybody. Gabby is reading a magazine about skateboarding. So Gabby is reading a magazine about skateboarding. Is that a declarative sentence or an exclamatory sentence? So Gabby is reading a magazine about skateboarding. We need to say if it's a declarative sentence or an exclamatory sentence. All right. So if we are going to choose the correct sentence, Gabby is reading a magazine about skateboarding, and then we can say this is a declarative sentence. Well done. Let's do one more. Why are Ning and Scarlett arguing? So why are Ning and Scarlett arguing? Is that an interrogative sentence or a declarative sentence or issue? So why are Ning and Scarlett arguing? We need to say if it's an interrogative sentence or a declarative sentence. And if we were to choose the correct answer, we would say it is an interrogative sentence because it's asking a question. All right, so well done. Well done, everybody. All right, so that is sentence types. We said that there are four kinds of sentences, which is a declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentence, right? A declarative sentence is a statement that ends with a period. Interrogative sentence is where you ask a question and it ends with a question mark. An imperative sentence it's basically like a command or a request and it ends with a period. But if you are either stressing a point, right, or yeah, then it ends in an exclamation mark. And then an exclamatory sentence, it is a statement that ends with an exclamation mark. So thank you very much, grade 5, for joining the class. And I really hope you're going to have a good evening further. Goodbye.